Hello, John Dilworth here, and very excited uh, to experience whatever is going to happen with our experiment here. So Jim has taken this blow. I always forget what they're called. You know, you blow it like in Bugs Bunny. The first time I saw one of these things, blow a dart gun, a dart tube. Boy, it was some old Bugs Bunny cartoon, and I think an indigenous person was going to dart Bugs Bunny, and Bugs Bunny just runs up and he reverse blows the thing into his mouth, into this I forget what it was, but it was so stupid and funny, and we just you don't see that kind of sophistication. I mean, you blow stuff into people's mouths. So, it's an experiment. I did this thing where he grabs both these objects in one go, but I think I could get him to do. I think I could get him to do something else. I think he can grab something else. Let's see if we can do a guide. I like guides. They make life kind of easier. So I know he went down, he grabbed that, and then let me see if I could just rough out his head and try to get something a little bit. Well, that's too much, right? That's what we see. And this filthy thing is a great aid. So it's just too close to the box. So it's going to go up. And this hand, if he's going to do anything, this hand has got to be here. Right? And this thing is going to come this way. I'm just sketching out a rough guide. So here's his shoulder here. So maybe this hand and this tube. And that's kind of interesting if I point to this thing with the tube. So let's put that hand here. It's just blocking this stuff out. And this hand's up here. Let's say away from his face, so that's very clear. And I think that I'm going to adjust his nose and his face, the angle of his head. And let's see how far off we are. We're quite off model. And this is what's so great about having a layout you can rely on, as well as having model sheets nearby, constantly looking at things. But with this, with software, all of that's available to you at any time. And the digital softwares. And we're going to try to get through this scene mano a mano. And I'm just refining some ideas. These are refining ideas. We're not quite sure where things are going to be or where they should be, but we're looking for them. And the quest, right, is what we learn always. The quest is the adventure. And let me see. I just want to build this kid's odd construction. So this, I know I want to get this shoulder up here. This is in the distance. This should be lower. And we'll take this filthy thing and you see it's already collecting filthiness. Don't put that in your mouth. And get his construction right. I just want to lower his shoulder. And I don't like the way that's So I'm going to lower this some more because I want clarity. And this is going to go here. So you could say that this is a key pose. And if you're animating or you're going to pass it on to an animator, this is the thing to do. So that looks a little flat, and I don't like it. I don't like when things are flat. So let's give it a little dimension, right? Let's give it a tube that's facing you, a little perspective, and the hand could be here. And I'll put that on model, and that feels better. So we're going to go from here to here. And he's got to be, well, already I don't like it. So I'm going to take this big guy, or big object, and get rid of it. And we know why. Because if this object's here and he wants to look at it, I don't want his head looking up. And so his neck is going to have to help us a little bit. And get this. Let's see what he looks like here. So, lots of adjustments. And we must not be timid. Must be courageous when we're in the pursuit of finding a good drawing. Examine. We examine. A life unexamined is not much of a life, I hear. Have you heard that also? So a drawing unexamined is not much of a drawing. So if we just use the same theory. And I'm just giving this stuff. So here's this thing, and that's what I want him to look at. So if he's here, that is so much better. And then other things could happen. And you see what happens when you make an adjustment in one place, other things have to be adjusted. They just inspire each other. I don't know how this works in the real world, but we could always prove it by trying it. And I can hide his shoulder there and his neck. We could just say, yeah, I'm still not happy with that. And that's it. That's just the way it is. We're not happy until we're happy. And the one thing that everyone can agree on, I'm just going to put let's say he's there, and let's say this is there. That should do it. One thing we can all agree on is we know when we are happy. And what goes with the other part of that equation? If we're not happy, we have to know why we're not happy. Then we get this abstract, malaise that's so contagious. You ever enter a room and it's just an immense gloom because people got caught. They all got this malaise. Whew, it takes effort. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get Jim to do this turn, but the next thing would be, let's use another pencil. He wants this object, right? So let's just sketch out what could be a possible grab. And that thing's in there, right? So you can have the hair going where it was. This is his hand, and all this will get developed. And this thing will have to swing over to here. And this guy's head, Jim, poor Jim, I called him just a guy, some random guy. Maybe it's here. So he could actually, this pose could go into another as he exit. He could exit on this turn, which is pretty cool. So until next time, stay animated.